To say that the city of Cremona, Italy, is a hidden gem would not do justice to its rich history, its creative and hospitable people, and its gastronomic prowess on the world culinary scene. While it might be overshadowed by many other larger Italian cities, it is a place not to be missed. Following a recent conference in the south of France, I, along with my wife Mio, decided to visit Cremona and to explore the many beauties that it has to offer. It did not disappoint. Situated in northern Italy, about an hour southeast of Milan, Cremona has a storied history dating back to 400 BC. Its strategic location was cause for Cremona to become the first military outpost established by the Romans in 218 BC, and the town remained a military stronghold throughout the years, up to and including World War II. This long-standing history became evident as we walked through the town, especially the Duomo area, by the famous Cremona Cathedral and its bell tower, the Torrazzo, the tallest pre-modern tower in Italy and the third tallest brickwork bell tower in the world. The economy in Cremona is strong and is rooted largely in farming and agricultural production. While the old town exudes history, tradition, and culture, farming permeates the outskirts and presents itself in different forms throughout the city. Regional specialties include salted meat, vegetable oils, pickled fruit known as mostarda, grana padano and provolone cheeses, and sweets, especially their famous nougat known as torrone. Our glorious visit to Cremona could not have been timed any better, as it coincided with their annual Torrone Festival. The streets were lined with vendors selling countless varieties of the local nougat, along with many other delightful treats. The town was hustling and bustling with travelers from near and far, and everyone seemed to be in wonderful spirits for the occasion. Musical shows took place all day, including an Italian version of Mary Poppins. The shows culminated with a joyful parade throughout the town. However, closer to my heart is the storied musical history of Cremona. Throughout the years, Cremona has been a national musical center, with composers and performers at the highest levels living in the region. This alley in specific, Via Sicordi, is filled with luthiers, very fine instrument makers, with hundreds and hundreds of years of tradition. In fact, this is where Stradivari, back in the day, the famous violin maker, Stradivari did his fine work. Walking through the narrow cobblestone streets of Cremona and being able to see shop after shop filled with many of today's great instrument makers was absolutely breathtaking. I felt like I traveled back in time for centuries, and the tradition of these fine craftsmen permeated the entire area. Beyond the rush of seeing luthiers in action, we were equally as fortunate to enjoy the fantastic live music performances of some exceptionally talented street artists, playing countless instruments, from violins and violas to guitars and handpans. I was blown away by the delicate sound of the handpan, resonating brilliantly with the old city acoustics. The handpan musicians were magnificent and blended classical technique with great rhythms and catchy melodies. The highlight of our trip to Cremona was the opportunity to connect with our good friend Massimo Capra. Massimo is a world-renowned chef at the highest level, with a reputation of culinary creativity and excellence. Back in Canada, he is most likely the country's most recognizable celebrity chef. But more importantly, Massimo is a wonderful human being with a jovial spirit and a delightful outlook on life. Massimo was born in Soresina, but grew up in the Cremona area. He proved to be the ultimate tour guide, as he not only took Mio and me to his favorite spots throughout town, but he also offered insights and historical background, which gave us a more localized and authentic experience. Highlights included having an espresso at Café Tubino.
This is the most well-balanced, most flavorful, and better roasted coffee that you can possibly have.
We then enjoyed a puff pastry at Patriceria Dondeo, Massimo's favorite bakery. In fact, his grandfather used to deliver milk and cream to this bakery many years ago. Massimo then took us to the Po River, a spot devoid of any tourists, and we enjoyed a moment together as night fell on the region. He showed us the bridge that was bombed and destroyed during the Second World War. No Massimo Capra experience is complete without a good meal, and what we were about to experience next would end up being the best food experience of the entire trip, and possibly the entire year. In true Italian fashion, Massimo invited us to a family-style dinner with his childhood friends. Mio and I were graciously welcomed by the group, who proved to be the most lovely, hospitable, and friendly people imaginable. Course after course, we were privileged to have Massimo, a master chef, explain the origins of the food and how it was made. We were given deeper explanations into wine pairing and how Italian table wines are selected to match properly with the exceptionally large meals. The food, all cooked by a lovely Italian nonna, was remarkable and left us wanting to come back for more. Now, if we can only find that remote little restaurant again, hidden somewhere in that remote area outside of Cremona. Luckily for us, we left with a new group of friends, a group that we will no doubt remain in touch with for future visits to Cremona. His very first childhood friend, Giorgio, spoke glowingly with us of his lifelong companionship with Massimo.
Massimo Capra was my first friend, and was born 5 days before me, and lived 50 meters from my home.
In Cremona?
Yes, in Sesto, in a little village near Cremona. We start together to go to the cinema, to smoke together. First cigarette, we smoked the first cigarette.
And united.
We were 15 years old. 15 years old.
The respect that Massimo and his friends have for each other was evident every moment that we were all together. I will remember those great Cremona moments for the rest of my life.